The month of October has come and gone, and it was definitely a very exciting month of NHL action, and obviously that is usually the case. The first month of the season is always one of the most exciting months of the whole year because everybody is just excited to have the NHL back, and you have players that kind of come out of nowhere and surprise some people, and you have some teams that come out of nowhere and surprise some people as well. So I said this a couple videos ago that I was thinking about doing awards of the month, and I am going to follow through with that. I posted numerous polls on my community tab last night allowing you guys to vote on some of these awards, so I'm going to have my pick, and then I'm also going to have you guys, the subscribers, pick for that award of the month as well. So it should be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to doing this. So this is the NHL awards of the month for the month of October. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the video, starting off with the coach of the month. So for the coach of the month, my pick is Edmonton Oilers head coach Dave Tippett, and you guys, the subscribers, also picked Dave Tippett. He received 57% of the votes, and then we had Ralph Krueger getting 24%, Buffalo Sabres head coach, and then Canucks head coach Travis Green also receiving 19% of the votes. I definitely didn't really think you could make an argument for anyone to win coach of the month over Dave Tippett. Edmonton with a 9-4-1 record, a team that heading into the year didn't really have any expectations at all. Dave Tippett, a new head coach, a defensive-minded coach, and that has definitely worked out with this Edmonton team. Their defense has looked really strong to start the season, and I really feel like he has this team heading in the right direction so far throughout the first month of the season, and he definitely deserves a lot of credit for the success that the Oilers have had over the month of October. Hopefully this keeps up because it has been a lot of years of suffering and painful games for Edmonton Oilers fans, but you have McDavid, you have Draisaitl, and it seems like the foundation around them is slowly coming together, and I definitely think the Edmonton Oilers are going to be in for a strong year if they keep this up for the remainder of the season, and if they do, I definitely think Dave Tippett could be one of the front runners to actually win Coach of the Year come the NHL awards. Moving along now, we have Rookie of the Month, and my pick is defenseman Cale Makar for the Colorado Avalanche. He was also the subscribers' pick, receiving 47% of the votes, and then you had Quinn Hughes receiving 30%. He's definitely off to a great start as well. And then Buffalo Sabres rookie Victor Olofsson receiving 24%. Definitely some well-deserved votes for him as well, because all three of these guys have played fantastic to start the season, but I had to go with Cale Makar. He just looks like a veteran out there and is already quickly becoming one of the top defensemen in the entire NHL. 12 games played for Cale Makar so far, 1 goal, 9 assists for 10 points, and is obviously a big reason why this Colorado team has been so good to start the year and are most likely going to be so good throughout the entire regular season. And trading away a guy like Tyson Barrie in the summer, you would think you would miss that presence on the blue line, but Cale Makar has stepped in and has definitely been an upgrade over Tyson Barrie, and now you also have Nazem Kadri as a second liner who's done fantastic for them. This team is just looking very good to start the season, and I know right now they're kind of battling the injury bug with Mikko Rantanen out of the lineup, and obviously Gabe Landeskog is going to be out for a while, but if they can get through this stretch, I only think it's going to make them better, and they definitely should be in for a very big season. And one thing I've been really impressed with all three of these rookies, what do they all have in common? They're on winning teams, and I think all three of those guys have impacted their teams in a big way and are a big reason why their teams are having so much success. You look at a guy like Victor Olofsson, who has 6 goals through the first 13 games of the season, and obviously Quinn Hughes has gotten off to a fantastic start with 10 points through the first 12 games. Also, like Cale Makar, both of those guys are putting up very good numbers for rookie defensemen, and it really just blows my mind watching both of these guys play because they have so much confidence. It seems like they're never worried about making a mistake or turning the puck over, especially Quinn Hughes. Some of the moves he makes and just his skating ability, his edge work, and his hands when he's moving through the neutral zone, that kid does not look like a rookie, and both of these guys I think are going to be two of the front runners for the Calder Trophy when the NHL season actually does come to an end. There was a lot of hype surrounding these guys coming into the year, and both of these guys have lived up to that hype and some. They've been fantastic, along with Victor Olofsson. Moving along now to goaltender of the month, and this is the first time we actually disagree. My pick for goalie of the month is Tuukka Rask of the Boston Bruins, and you guys picked Marc-Andre Fleury, giving him the slight edge over Tuukka Rask with 34% of the votes, and then Tuukka Rask received 33%, John Gibson received 26%, and Pekka Rinne of the Nashville Predators received 7%. Now this is definitely interesting, and I really think any 4 of the goaltenders that you guys voted for, you could make an argument should be the goaltender of the month, and I definitely can see why the majority of you guys thought it should be Marc-Andre Fleury. He's played a big part in why Vegas has been successful to start the season. He has an 8-3-1 record, a .921 save percentage that is tied for a career high, and a 2.51 goals against, so he's definitely been very good to start the season. season. I picked Tuukka Rask because Boston is second place in the entire NHL, and Tuukka Rask has yet to take a regulation loss. He has a record of 6-0-1, a .951 save percentage, and a 1.41 goals against. Those are some amazing stats, and I know he has only played 7 games, and it is a small sample size, but he is a massive reason why Boston is so good to start the season. So that is why I gave Goaltender of the Month to Tuukka Rask. And now you look at a guy like John Gibson, who only has a 5-6 record through 11 games, but he is hands down one of the best goaltenders in the NHL. A .920 save percentage, a 2.66 goals against. The numbers don't scream amazing, but remember, this Anaheim team didn't really have high expectations coming into the year, and are definitely one of the teams that overachieved in the first month of the season, and having him in net is definitely a big reason why they are able to do that, because if they go on to make the playoffs and John Gibson's record gets a little bit better and maybe his goals against comes down a little bit, I definitely think he's a guy who could be one of the front runners for the Vezina Trophy and maybe even get some Hart Trophy votes. And then we have Pekka Rinne, who only received 7% of the votes, but he's actually been fantastic to start the season. I thought he would have got a little bit more. Through 9 games, he has a 7-0-2 record, not a regulation loss yet, and a .920 save percentage and a 2.19 goals against, showing that he is not washed. He's not ready to give up that number 1 spot just yet to UC Saros. He's off to a fantastic season. So all 4 of these goalies you definitely could make a case should be Goaltender of the Month, but you guys pick Fleury and my pick is Tuukka Rask. Moving along now to Defenseman of the Month. There should be no surprise here whatsoever. My pick is John Carlson of the Washington Capitals, and you guys also voted for John Carlson as he received an overwhelming 85% of the votes. Roman Josi received 6%. Shout out to him for getting that new contract extension. Morgan Rielly received 5%, and Dougie Hamilton received 4% of the votes. John Carlson has been one of the best players, not just defenseman, but one of the best players in the league through the first month of the season. 14 games played, 7 goals, and 16 assists for 23 points for the Washington Capitals defenseman. Over the years, John Carlson was always a defenseman who could put up big numbers, 60-point seasons, and he was a guy that I always thought should have got a little bit more recognition for the Norris Trophy than he did. He's never even been nominated, but I think this year that is all going to change, as there is a real possibility that John Carlson could be pushing 100 points if he stays healthy and continues to play this well. I know he is probably going to have some cold spots throughout the season, but just him quarterbacking that lethal power play and, always being the puck-moving defenseman that finds guys on the rush like Backstrom and Ovechkin, and the good offense that they have, there is a strong possibility that John Carlson could have a season from a defenseman that we have not seen in a very, very long time. So with all due respect to guys like Roman Josi, Morgan Rielly, and Dougie Hamilton, I think hands down John Carlson is the Defenseman of the Month, and no one can really make an argument to say otherwise. And now finishing out the video with the Player of the Month, my pick is David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins, and you guys actually voted for Connor McDavid as he received 53% of the votes. And obviously Connor McDavid, he's always going to be in consideration for Player of the Month, Hart Trophy, anything like that because of how good he is. And then David Pastrnak received 21% of your guys' votes, John Carlson with 15%, and Leon Draisaitl with 11%. I actually kind of thought Leon Draisaitl would have been up there around the top for you guys. He was honestly like a close second for me. Him and McDavid were really close, and this was probably the most difficult award for me to pick. I gave it to David Pastrnak though. He has really came on in these past couple of games. 12 games played, 12 goals, so he's scoring at a goal per game rate, 12 assists for 24 points. I think David Pastrnak is going to shatter 100 points this season. I honestly think he already would have hit 100 last year had he not gotten hurt, but obviously it's the NHL, injuries happen, but David Pastrnak has absolutely been tearing up the league to start the season, and the Boston Bruins are currently in second place overall in the entire league, so that is also something that played into consideration for me when giving him the award for Player of the Month. So you guys voted for McDavid, and obviously I can see that with Edmonton having success and McDavid probably going to have like a 120-point season. I definitely think he is probably eventually going to win the Hart Trophy, but Leon Draisaitl, don't sleep on him because he's been fantastic. He currently has more points than Connor McDavid, and watching Oilers games, the way he imposes his will on the game is just second to none. Like, I really can't see many other players in the NHL doing that and being such a force like Draisaitl. So that 1-2 monster that they have right there with McDavid and Draisaitl is definitely the best duo in the NHL in my opinion, and they're super fun to watch. And obviously we already talked about John Carlson. He got 15% of the votes. Like I said, not only one of the best defensemen of the month, but one of the best players overall. So Player of the Month, you guys gave it to Connor McDavid, and my pick was David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins. So that is going to wrap up today's video. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to let me know down in the comment section below if this is something that you would like to see every month. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I really liked featuring your guys' votes in the videos as well. So towards the end of November, make sure to keep an eye out on the community tab for polls so your vote can be counted in the next NHL awards for the month of November. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content, and I will see you guys all in the next video.